Welcome back to the bench. Since that 6-engine dart project is finally behind me, I'm ready for my next project. I've got my tools ready, so let's begin. This is going to be a little bit different type project than I typically create, because my next project is not my typical project. So let's just jump right into that one.
Well, hello, it's me, Tim Kustom, and I find myself in this all-new yet very familiar environment. I have my lighting rig right here, and I have my camera that I've shot many of the photos that have been on this channel. I even have this. Those that know, know. I even have some of the models that I've built on this channel. You might be familiar with some of these, but you're probably not familiar with this environment. Take these curtains, for example. They have all kinds of model stories to tell. Those curtains are just one small detail of the story of why Tim Kustom builds models. You see, this room was built by my grandfather to be his hobby room, which was a story for another time. It then evolved into what my family calls the train room, because my father built a fully detailed 8 by 8 foot HO scale train layout, which a young Tim Kustom enjoyed, and it certainly planted some scale modeling seeds. Which brings us back to the project. This is going to become the all-new Tim Kustom model car headquarters. The plan is to set up this space so I can bring you even more entertaining and informative model car stories, tips, and techniques. In order to build the shop, you gotta lose the shop. Most of the models that I've built on this channel were built basically on the kitchen table. A little look into what that looks like. I have my computer, and there's my toolbox, and there's the kitchen. It's kind of time to move on from this. So this project should move pretty quickly. I'd much rather be building models instead of digging through boxes, wasting time on scavenger hunts. Which brings up another topic I really don't like to talk about. I have too much model car stuff. Nobody should have to say that. But we're not going to dwell on that. So let's take a look around and see what the base of the new headquarters is going to look like. Starting off with the models, kind of shown I got that's the big light for photography. And then I have my printers, paper printers. That is the $40 printer. And that is the more expensive Epson Eco Tank. I actually printed the dart decals on the cheap printer just recently. And then, yeah, there's this table in the corner. It's going to go away. I have a different table. And this is all tool supplies, camera bag, stuff that I have to dig through anytime I need a saw that is not very useful. An old chair. We have the church from the original model layout. That's pretty neat. My father had saved that. I think he has some of the other stuff from it. We'll probably talk about those later. There's my chair. There are those wonderful curtains. There's some more of those. Oh, there's another big project. Maybe sometime down the road. We got some internet doodads. This is lighting and a drying rack, a Dyson. And then there's this yellow pucraca, as we call it. And that is original to the room. That is a fine piece of Polish furniture. I mean, the key is really neat. Look at the key. Isn't that cool? There's really nothing in it yet. There will be. Some models that have been kind of on the channel at some point. This is what has been the 3D printing area. All of the parts that you see on my models, they were printed on that. I don't really buy printed parts because I can make them. I have 2 wash buckets there, and then a whole bunch of 3D printed stuff, junkyard. Some models you've seen on the channel. These just kind of came in. And I did print some turbos, some air cleaners, and all kinds of other stuff. And then again, more models. These are just kind of not anything that I really need. So these just kind of got stuck up there. I think I have some better models to go up there. We need some shelves. Stepping back, you can see this piece of carpet. This is what is going to be the main bench area once the benches show up. I've measured this room to see when my actual benches show up. I have more of those wonderful curtains. And then the other half of the room has another desk with one of these jungle website paint booths. And that actually works pretty good. Another curtain with a window. And oh, this is kind of fun. This is my high-tech foil-lined UV curing box. And there's a light in there because, you know, I don't need a fancy curing station. This is a whole bunch of tools because I have more boxes of tools. These weren't mine. I found these at a hobby shop. They came out of an estate. And these are fully loaded. That's helpful. And then there's more stuff. There's dehydrator parts and more boxes of model stuff. And oh, dehydrators? Yep, there they are. They're back there. 2 of them. And then got some boxes with some other fun stuff. That's probably some Krylon. That's just kind of garbage. And this shelf unit has some more fun models. Yeah, they're just here because the rest of the models are elsewhere, off-site. Too many, as I said. We'll get into that. But that's going to kind of the calm before the storm, if you will. And then we're going to fill this up with all kinds of model car stuff. So stay tuned. And that's the calm before the storm in here. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You guys know what to do because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.